Well, I appreciate you sitting down with us, man. I know it's been a busy day for you. How are you finding Australia so far?
I like Australia, and like I tell everybody, the only thing that I'm missing is kangaroos. I've been trying to see kangaroos, and I haven't seen it yet. So
I saw you saying you don't even believe they exist anymore because you haven't seen
I don't
them.
think so, man. You know, it's like one of those things, leaving cookies out for Santa, you know, Santa coming through the chimney. It never happened, so I don't know if I believe it anymore. So
That's funny. Let's talk about, you're on a nice winning streak, man. You've put together something really special. 4 first-round knockouts among there. What is it that's clicking, man? What is it that's really got you going on the streak right now?
I'm just a believer of the process. You know, I put in a lot of hard work, and that's why I try to tell a lot of the young and up-and-coming guys that are around me, you know, just put in the work and you're going to reap the benefits. You know, I'm a great wrestler, and I knew that coming in, and I just working on the other parts of my game, you know, my striking, my jiu-jitsu, my cardio, my diet, all of that is important to being a great fighter. So just been working on everything and just putting it together.
Where do you feel like you're at in your development? Because now, you're a top 10 ranked fighter. All of a sudden, you know, there's some talent up at the top of the division, but you're kind of think right there, you know, right below that. So where do you feel like you're at? Are you ready to start contending?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I'm right there with everybody in the division. You know, I just got to keep getting better, keep improving. You know, keep upping everything, every part of my game, even my strong points, which is my wrestling. I got to keep upping that. You know. But yeah, I'm right there with the rest of the guys, and just more fights out there is just going to give me more confidence and keep finishing these guys in the first round. You know I can do it against the rest of the guys. So
you put this impressive run together, then you get the call, hey, let's go fight Robert Whittaker in Australia. What's the thought process when you get that? Because great opponent, another good name. I think it makes sense, but knowing that you got to add that traveling, go fight on his home turf. Was there a discussion about it? How did it go down?
You know what? Funny enough, I got the information that I'll be fighting Robert Whittaker right after my fight with Hall. Like, I meant maybe like 10 to 15 minutes after,
wow.
You know? So, yeah, it was kind of like, it wasn't much thought. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, I know it was on his home turf, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. I fought fights. When I first started fighting out in North Carolina, I couldn't get fights, so I had to go to Rhode Island, Florida. I had to go in people's backyards, and, you know, I finished them, silenced the crowd. So I try not to, you know, add that part into it and worry about the refs and the judging and all this other stuff. I just try to worry about me, you know, just going out there doing what I have to do.
What about the travel itself, though? A little bit further, traveling to Australia, then another state.
Yeah, the travel was pretty nasty, you know, about 20, 21 hours of flying time. So I'd never done that before, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I actually got on the airplane, and I turned my phone on when we got like pretty high in the air, and I go over to Wi-Fi, and nothing showed up. I'm like, okay. I cut it off, cut it back on, nothing showed up. I'm like, and then I asked, did they have Wi-Fi? And it was like, no, and my heart just sunk. I was like, there's no way I'm going to make this flight without Wi-Fi. But it was okay. You know, I watched the movie, went to sleep for 8 hours, woke up, watched another movie, and we were here. So
not feeling the jet lag, the effects, anything like that, feeling pretty good?
Well, I got here 9 days early, so I'm a little accustomed now. My sleep schedule is good, so yeah, ready.
Very cool. Main event slot, not, of course, probably the way that you would want it to be a main event slot by losing the original main event. But that said, it's still a UFC main event. Does that add something to it? Is it a special feeling?
Yeah, for sure. You know, originally we weren't the main event, but I don't think anybody would disagree that me and Robert Whittaker are some of the top middleweights in the world, you know? So, you got two guys, hungry, young, looking to take that next step, both on a 5-fight winning streak, you know? So it's a lot of intrigue in this matchup and good stuff going forward.
I think it is an exciting matchup. I think maybe not getting the love that it deserves, and I don't know. I guess maybe it's because there's been a lot of fights. There was 2 UFC cards last weekend, 205 before that, and of course, you know, it's not the fight it was supposed to be. But do you feel disrespected by that at all, or maybe like, hey man, why aren't we getting the attention maybe that we should?
No, not necessarily. You know, my whole journey has been a process. You know. Nobody ever gave me anything, so I'm okay with working for everything, you know. So I'm a firm believer in hard work, and if I keep doing what I need to do, then I'm going to be where I need to be. You know, the media is going to grow, the fanfare is going to grow, and I got a lot of love, you know, from the people who do support me and watch my career all across the world. You know, I sent out a tweet last night about kangaroos, and, you know, it got like 40 likes, and people from Australia who, you know, follow me, and I'm from the U.S., you know. So, I get pretty good love, you know, but I know that everything that I get is from what I earned, you know. So It's all good.
No doubt. Yes, you had to give up your Thanksgiving, right, to come take this fight. Do you have traditions? Is that a big one for you?
You know what? It's so crazy. I forgot all about Thanksgiving. That's how crazy it is. Like I can't even think about it. Think about food because I have business here. I have to make the weight cut. But yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah, I've never not been at home during Thanksgiving. I have my little ones back at home. So yeah, I mean it's different. But life is about sacrifices, and you got to grind it out. So. Here to grind it out.
All right, big opportunity, Robert Whittaker. Break him down. What do you see? I mean, he's got a nice little run together too, like you say. He's on a nice win streak.
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed guy. He looked to come forward and bang, and he's crafty. He got good feints. Looked to mix it up. He's not really backing up. Underrated jiu-jitsu. He's a solid fighter.
Yeah, you mentioned your wrestling background. I mean, this seems like a guy that your wrestling would probably be the biggest strong point that you would have over him. But I mean, do you feel like you could stand and trade with him a little bit too, or do you feel like wrestling is going to be a big key to getting this done?
I don't know. I never know when I go into a fight. I mean, I thought my last 4 fights that I finished the guys, standing or with hands was going to be a wrestling match, but it didn't turn out that way. And I understand what my opponent is good at, but I never really. I don't want to say I don't have a game plan, but I just kind of feel it out and see how the fight goes. Because you might have a person who's really gun-shy the whole time, and they might not present a takedown, might not present itself. They might be backing up, anticipating it. So now you have to set up other things. So I just kind of feel the fight up and just take it where it goes.
Sounds like you're pretty dialed into this, and maybe not looking past it necessarily. But I mean, what do you think could come next? Because as you said, I think you're right there. Both you guys are right there. So I mean, what do you think this earns you? Where does it put you?
Yeah, definitely a big fight for sure. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But I have unfinished business with Romero. That's a guy who had some stuff come up, that I didn't like. I was pretty much dominating this guy. I asked myself after the fight, everybody say, "Oh, you need to have work on the cardio a little bit." I'm like, I don't know if that's the cardio. I think this guy popped for some PEDs, and I'm mounting this guy. I got him in side control. I'm taking him down. He's pushing off my face. He's exploding up. His tendons are strong. So it's monitored now. Whether he say he knowingly took it or not, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is what, and that's the reason why he was able to get out a lot of spots I had him in. So he's up for a title shot, but I think I'm very adamant about getting that rematch. So. We'll see what happens. You
think he beats Michael Bisping?
Yeah, I think he beats Michael Bisping.
Yeah. So you think maybe you and Yoel Romero for the title?
That's what the fans are gonna want to see. I mean, it's like this. Nobody else really wanted to fight Romero. Who said that? Oh, Tyron Woodley said. What did he say? He said something about, he quoted something Wonderboy said. Wonderboy said he wanted to fight so-and-so. He's like, oh, Wonderboy said, so go fight so-and-so. Right. I'm going to fight Nate Diaz or GSP. So it's kind of one of those things, I'm looking forward to my rematch. I've been very adamant about it, So, I mean, if he has the title, then, hey, I'm looking for my rematch. I mean, a lot of guys, I think when you have guys riding huge winning streaks, you need to be rewarded, And when you have guys who lose fights, and they need to win a fight or two before they get back to the title shot, even if they're, right there. I don't think you can really get it off, one fight, So.
Did you see anything different in him in the fight with Weidman? Did you, because I think a lot of people were trying to evaluate, as you said. I mean, he popped, and he says that he didn't know, but he popped.
Yeah, for sure. I think with PEDs, it's going to take a little bit of time to wear off, especially if you've been doing PEDs forever. I mean, it's not going to negate the strong tendons and, all this brute force trauma you have, but I think you'll start to see it over a period of time. He looked a little leaner, for sure, which in terms of skinnier, his waist looked a little bit, he always looked shredded. He got a physique, but he looked a little leaner, so yeah.
Well, you make an interesting case for it, man. I think you're laying it out there.
There you go.
But first thing you got to do is you got to get rid of Robert Whittaker.
For sure. I got to handle my business this weekend, and then, after that, let the games begin.
Well, when you play it out in your head, how do you see it, man? I know you said you don't go in with too much of a game plan, but when you envision this one playing out, how do you see it happening?
I mean, I see myself, getting an impressive finish, just getting an impressive finish, getting my hand raised.